Hey, what's up guys, it's Cat from the Monkey Making Misplaced channel, and today I'll be showing off Favrneel, the antagonist to Dear Days, I believe. I didn't really play a lot of it, but if I remember correctly, this was the antagonist Vanguard. And he is extremely fun. Ever since this came out a while back, I've been playing it, and it's one of the decks I've been really addicted to playing. It's just a lot of fun, and I've been tinkering with the deck a lot since then, and a couple things I've learned in the structure deck for this thing. They gave you a lot of blind soul charging cards, and you're gonna see I don't play a lot of those, and almost like none. I think it's like 1 or 2 at best, because you don't want a blind soul charge, and we'll get into the why in a bit. You want a selective soul charge. But to get to that, we're playing the ride line. This is the starter from the sets. I liked it a lot, but we are playing the Diabolos ride line solely because, again, it is selective soul charging once you get to the grade 2. I'll show you what you would prefer to soul charge. And sure, the grade 1 is a blind soul charge, but it's not much you can do. It does give you a rear guard, so that's cool. Not a card out of your hand for an attack. And the main boy, Favrneel. His whole gimmick is that not riding. So we'll show you how you actually persona ride in this deck in a bit. But that's his whole gimmick. So like, for instance, in his first effect over here, if you did not ride, he'll get plus 10k in a crit. So basically the Dark States OT just built in. And he has a restand ability if there are 13, how would you say, like, cost, or the total grades, there you go. The total grades is 13 of Dark States cards in your soul. So for instance, the Blitz order will not count, but like a Dark States order would. And that would be cost of CB2, which is a pretty hefty cost, but we do play a lot of counter charges in this deck. But as you can see already, it's a really beefy boy. Being a 23k with a crit on your second grade 3 turn is really oppressive, and then you hit Dark States OT on top of that, you pretty much have won the game. The amount of times I've won because of that is quite a bit. But moving on to the grade 3s, we play 4 Hodris. This came in the pre-con for him. Really good card. At the end of battle, he attacked. If you have a Vanguard with Favrneel, he will tuck himself into Soul and retire a card. Oh, forgot about that actually. Every time you retire, at the beginning of your main phase, your opponent has to retire a card, and every time they retire, you get to put a card from your hand to your soul and draw a card. Very important effect from Favrneel. Almost forgot about that. But yeah, this will proc that because he will retire a card, forcing your opponent, not forcing you, but it will allow you to put a card into your soul and draw, which allow you to hit that 13 faster. And he's what allows you to persona ride. At the beginning of the turn, if you did not ride, you will bind him out of your soul and discard a card to activate it, and you cannot activate persona ride in any other ways. So no chalice and stuff like that. Really good card. I would recommend always play it 4 because it is your persona ride. Second grade 3, Jarret Dragon. Also came in the pre-con, I believe. Very simple. When he is placed, put a card from your hand to your soul, draw a card. So again, selective soul charging. Not really soul charging because you're choosing the cards, but this is what you would prefer. You want to make sure you pick the cards you want. You don't want to put triggers in there. You don't want to put your PGs in there. And this allows you to control that. And our second to last grade 3 is 3 copies of Elagos. The main reason people aren't playing this deck, in my opinion, he is way too expensive. He was a 1-of. I had to buy 3 just to have 3. I was going to buy 4, but it was costing way too much money at that point. And honestly, I don't think you need the 4. Before the rule change for the deck size, I was only playing 2, and I thought that was fine. Now that we have extra space, I max out on the 3. Reason being, when he attacks, if you have Vanguard with Favrneel, you can choose one of your rear guards, put into your soul, and retire one of your opponent's rear guards. And then if the sum of your grades, if your soul is 13 or greater, you get the counter charge. So it allows you to refill that counter charge, puts cards into your soul, retires an opponent's rear guard, so it allows you to draw a card and put a card into your soul. With Favrneel, does everything you could want. I believe currently at the market price he's $18, which has gone down quite a bit. I think he used to be like in the 30s, 27s. But I still think it's obscenely expensive, and I think it is the sole reason a lot of people don't want to pick up the deck, because Favrneel is not a meta deck. Shocker, I know, it's not great, but this doesn't help. So I really hope he does get a reprint someday in like a main set or in a reprint set, because that way more people can try Favrneel. He's a really fun deck. And the last grade 3, Forbid Doll, allows you to get 2 grade 3s. Pretty simple. Like I said, you're not playing Chalice, and this is probably the best Regalis piece. Once the new one comes out, I might try it out, but I highly doubt it's going to make a difference. The only thing is Shiranui is out, so you're going to have to learn how to play against that. Not that this deck has a chance to really beat Shiranui, but, you know, in case you want to have some fun, right? And in case Favrneel is your favorite boy. Moving on to the grade 2s, we're playing Quadruple Squalid Freaks. He was a card that came out way before the set, actually, the pre-con. And I think way before Favrneel, because I think Favrneel was released with the pre-con. So it was really fun to have this card and just not have Favrneel. But he's an extremely cool card. In your soul, if you did not ride, he gets grade +2, making him a grade 4. So it helps you with that soul count. And then in soul, when your Greater Vanguard attacks, if you did not ride, you can bind him, and all your Favrneel will get +5. Typically, I will not do that second effect unless I'm going for kill turn, and it'll be on my second swing after I restand, because that's not once per turn. So on your second swing, you could bind all 4 and give your front row +20. Just a really huge boost on top of Persona Ride, so +30. And that's not including triggers. So I obviously think this is a 4 of. I don't think there's much debate about that. The other grade 2 I play is Quadruple Selfish Engraver for the sole reason that it counter charges. Technically, it also soul charges. It is a blind soul charge. I think the only card that blind soul charges in this list. When her attack hits, soul charge 1, so a little bit of on-hit pressure. And then all these going to attack. If your soul has 10 or more cards, put into your soul and counter charge 1. So, pretty useful. Put yourself into soul for your soul count, the grade count. Counter charges, does soul charge. It does everything you could want. This is a pretty budget-friendly card, so I think it used to be expensive, but not anymore. So I think it's a great card to play. We play 4 Friend of the Neverworld Ling. Pretty simple. When placed, look at the top 2, put one in your soul and the other one in your bottom. Again, selective soul charging, I believe, is key with this deck. You want to put in grade 3s. The Squalid Freaks are really good. Hordris is really good to put in there. And another good target would be Draco Kid over here, that I play as well as a 4 of. This is the one I would prefer to soul charge with my ride line, because while he's in your soul, if your Vanguard is grade 3, he also gets grade +2, so he'll be a grade 3. And when he's placed on mirror, if you have a grade 3 card, you may soul charge 1. If it was a grade 3 that was soul charged by his effect, choose a grade 3 for your drop, put in your soul. Nothing really happens with that. Again, this is the only other card that's blind soul charges. This is not honestly what you care about. You really just want to throw him into soul, because it'll count as a grade 3, while still being a grade 1 with shield, because shield is pretty important in this deck, because you do play a lot of grade 3s, so shield is very important. And with that in mind, we play 2 of this one's called the Almethus. This is definitely a flex spot. You can change this whatever you want, but this is a card that's really good in the late game, because you can throw out the 0 and the 1, because at that point you'll probably be way past the 13, and it'll give you a more shield, and it's also a counter charger. So in case you need that 1 more CB, he can get you there. If you just need a little bit more shield, he can get you there. Only a one-time use in this deck, because you will not ride on top of your grade 3, but honestly that's all you really need. And then finally, PGs. I play a triple of the regular, 1 of the Blitz. Shiranui and Luard are a thing now. I think playing the Blitz is kind of mandatory for those decks, especially against Luard. This is the one thing that gets around the guard restrict. If you don't have it, don't feel too bad. If anything, playing another copy of this might be even better, because it is a Dark States card, so in case it gets soul charged, it will count. This will not. But that's why, again, we play a lot of selected soul charging, so that does not happen. That is the entire of the main deck. Moving on to the trigger count. My favorite OT, Dark States OT. When revealed, give your Vanguard +10 to crits for the rest of the game, and obviously 100 million. I stand by this crit wholeheartedly. I think it's better than red or blue. You may disagree with that. That's completely up to you. I just think hitting this early is amazing. I've only done it a couple times in my entirety of playing Standard, hitting this at grade 1. But when you do that, it's pretty much a free game. You will win that game probably 90% of the time. And this may be controversial, but I do play 4 effect draws. In a deck like Dark States, in a deck like this that will run through your deck by putting cards into Soul, Typically draw triggers will not be the go-to, but what I noticed is that you really want to see your combo pieces. You really want to see your Holdress, your Illigos, your Jetstream Dragon, and you want to see Forbid Doll, the Draco Kid, Squalid Freaks. You want to see those cards. And playing fronts, honestly, I don't think matters because power isn't really an issue with this deck. So I've been playing 4 draws for a long time, and never once have I thought, oh, I really wish these were fronts. Playing the 4 draws have helped me quite often. Sure, I've decked out probably a couple games, but those were games I was probably going to lose anyway, so I don't really feel too bad about it. If you want to play fronts, go right ahead, but I have been really enjoying the draws. Of course, crits, 3 vanilla, 4 soul. Especially in this deck, the soul crits do not matter because it's a 0, so it will not count for your grade count. But I just have them. It's nice. Gives a +2 when you put it into your soul, but you can definitely just play vanilla if you'd like. And then just 4 heals. Vanilla heals, you could play the effect heals, especially the one for if your opponent's grade is higher than yours. That just depends on your local specifically. I play the 15Ks in this deck, the vanillas, because it is a guaranteed 15K. I don't want to risk playing against a non-stride deck and having a 10K shield heal. It feels really, really bad, and this is just more consistent. This is just what I've been liking, but obviously, play to your locals, play to your meta. But yeah, that was the deck. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. It's a deck that I've been wanting to do for a long, long time, and we finally got around to it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one.